Going deep. Pollard has the catch, and no one will touch him again. Touchdown, Dallas.
There were some statement wins in the NFL in Week 11 as we head into the holiday season, the fantasy football playoffs, and the final stretch for a lot of teams to try and make it to the NFL playoffs. So let's look at the top 10 most hyped players coming out of Week 11, including all of my biggest eBay reactions and the ripple effects that this has caused in the football card market. So let's dig in. Leading the way this weekend, number one most hyped player coming out of Week 11 is Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs in a statement win over the Los Angeles Chargers on the road Sunday night, putting them on the brink of securing the AFC West title. Mahomes was once again playing at an MVP standard. He was dialed in from a clean pocket and hit deadly accurate throws on the horizontal concept stretching across the field. When you're Patrick Mahomes, your rookie cards don't even need to be color matched. Check out this green 2017 Prism Raw that sold for $900 in a buy it now authenticity guarantee. Or what about this horizontally formatted Origins with the vertically formatted Beckett slab to 9, 3-color patch with and sticker auto here selling for $4,000. And let's pop over to our Keep 'em Football Card Prices web app to see a 12.44% increase in the current trend of Patrick Mahomes Optic PSA 10 with a population of 3,661. But of course, as you guys know, Patrick Mahomes has been involved in a lot of Super Bowls and championship games over the past couple years. Going back to the championship game of last year, that card had gotten up to $1,900. So it has yet to be seen if we're going to realize that, but he is the front runner for the MVP, clear playoff candidate, and they will be in the thick of it down the stretch. So I do suspect that this card has probably a $1,500 ceiling on its horizon. The Prism holding about even, kind of bouncing up and down here around that $4,000 mark. Population of only 903 on this card, and the peak on this card last January 25th, about $8,000. The all-time peak on this card was about $10,000 to $12,000 in the playoffs at the end of the 2020 season. I do not suspect that this card will get back up to that $10,000 to $12,000 range. I expect it to get somewhere back up into this range, depending on what they do in the playoffs. I do think it's got probably about a $7,000, $7,500 ceiling based on the population demand for Patrick Mahomes. He is a generational talent. Real quick, if you're new here, welcome to the Football Card Quest. My name is Andy. If you want to learn all about the best players and their specific cards to target sports card investing and collecting, including access to all these charts and graphs, the Keep 'em web app that you just saw, and weekly backstage articles, written content, a Discord server, all about football cards, unlocking the entire football card experience and supporting the show. Make sure you check out the link in the description below. Check it out at patreon.com/footballcards. Now back to the action. Number 2 is Travis Kelce, firmly solidifying himself as the GOAT tight end after this incredible performance last night. He had the best night of any player on the field and is the highest graded offensive player from this matchup on first review by PFF. He was targeted on over a third of his routes run and hauled in 3 touchdowns for the game. Kelce broke 2 tackles on 6 receptions and averaged 14.8 yards after the catch per reception. And check out this man's iconic 2013 Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 9 that sold for $120 today. Buy it now format. Or what about his raw base select? But this is the first year that select was made in 2013, selling for $50 in buy it now. If you're just popping over to eBay today, you're going to see a lot of buy it now sold volume for 2013 Travis Kelce rookie cards. That's a great indication of how much his demand has increased in the last 24 hours and therefore leading to price increases. His graded card market has a relatively low population considering. I love this 2013 score retro from the 1989 score. This only has a population of 241, therefore there were only 4 sales in the past month, one as recent as Friday, and a buy it now for $225. Look at 4 days prior though, another PSA 10 that closed in auction for $115.50, presenting a really nice ROI on that flip right there. Rookie breakout alert! Clyde Edwards-Helaire took an early exit due to injury, paving the way for 7th round rookie Isaiah Pacheco to lead the backfield. Pacheco averaged 7.2 yards per carry and helped lead Kansas City to a 50% success rate on the ground for the game. And Panini's doing a much better job this year of producing cards for late round rookies that have very little supply. This Panini Instant becoming one of Isaiah Pacheco's more popular, aka liquid cards. You can see it. It's numbered out of 266 typed on the back of the card. Want to share with you a great example of hyper relevancy here. One ended at $59 last night in an auction at 9:31 p.m. literally when Isaiah Pacheco is melting faces, $59. The other one sold much earlier in the day in a buy it now format for $49.99. So this buy it now person actually lost out on $10 in profit because of the listing format and the hyper relevancy surrounding Isaiah Pacheco in the Island Sunday Night Football primetime game last night. The number 3 most hyped player coming out of week 11 is Tony freaking Pollard on the Dallas Cowboys. They made a massive statement win against the NFC's elite with a 40-3 victory over the Minnesota Vikings. This win propels the Cowboys into a tie for second place in the competitive NFC East. Tony Pollard snagged all 5 of his targets for 105 yards and 2 scores, getting his 2 touchdowns through the air. The performance helped the budding star finish with a 83.2 receiving grade, the highest of his season. Check out this plain color, non-game worn patch autograph sticker from Origins here, $41.99 in a buy it now. Or what about this person dropping $2,300 on a gold vinyl numbered out of 5 sticker auto PSA 10? A lot of his common cards, like the rated rookie, which are very popular from 2019 or any year really, still selling for just $5 to $10. But as soon as you add in things like an autograph or low serial number, or the combination of the two, now all of a sudden you start to see significant price increases. This graded card market is up across the board. In total sales, the Prism is leading the way with a population of 98. You can see that card is currently selling for $74.99 to buy it now on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. This would have been right when he was melting faces, compared to an auction ending Thursday night at 7:30 for $43. Once again, the hyper relevancy wins out. Or you can check his wonderful rookie ticket auto, which happens to be one of my personal favorites, has a population of just 17 in PSA 10 format, population of 5 in PSA 9. In the last month, there have been 4 sales. If you go back to October 26th, October 22nd, that was selling for $70.61 in an auction. Fast forward to October 30th, that goes for $130 and buy it now. And then Saturday night at 8:14 p.m., it goes for $112.50 in auction. I've got to think if this person would have ended their auction last night at 8:14 p.m., he would have got at least $130, maybe closer to $200 on that card based on the dominant performance that Tony Pollard put up. So it's clear by this point that Tony Pollard has earned himself a big bag of money next year as he enters free agency. Now, the Cowboys can't necessarily afford to keep Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, so I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below, where do you think Tony Pollard's going to end up? What do you think is going to happen to Tony Pollard next year? He's definitely due for a big payday after what he's shown this year. Now back to the action. Number 4, we have a defensive player from the Dallas Cowboys. That is Micah Parsons, looking to be an absolute generational defensive talent. Micah wreaked havoc against the Vikings offensive line. The second-year standout had his second 8 pressure performance of the season and ended the afternoon with 4 hurries and 2 sacks. Check out his 2021 Mosaic autograph non-serial numbered card here, selling for $165 in a buy it now. Or what about his Blue Wave rookie Prism, numbered out of 199, selling for $100. Look at the amount of profit that someone was able to realize in the matter of just 2 days by buying a Mosaic autographed Micah here in auction on November 19th for just $81 and then turning around and selling it in a buy it now for $165, doubling up on the value of that card. The profit on the Blue Wave Prism, not as high, but this card does not have an autograph, and this card actually for a lot of skill position players is going to go for a lot lower. So that just gives you an indication of the type of market that Micah Parsons has right now. All right, guys, the number 5 hype player going up right now is Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals. They finally pick up their first divisional victory of the year on Sunday, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 37-30. And what a fun game this was. The Bengals now move to 6-4 and trail only the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North. The Steelers, on the other hand, fall to 3-7 and are dead last in the division. Check out this orange laser prism, which is a more popular card for Joe Burrow from 2020. PSA 9 selling for $135 and buy it now. Or his optic hollow rated rookie, PSA 9 selling for $130 and buy it now. Overall, there's a lot of demand for Joe Burrow's rookie market and a lot of sold volume in the last 24 hours from everything from Leaf Metal, 7 out of 10 blue hollow autograph for $228.49 to a ton of smaller base cards. There is a lot of polarity between the base and the autograph cards of Joe Burrow from 2020, primarily because there is over 4,000 different Joe Burrow rookie cards, and people have become more selective over the Joe Burrow cards that they invest in. If you look at his graded card market and which cards are going up the most right now, they're cards that started at a relatively low average sell price to begin with, like this legacy LSU uniform PSA 10 going from $55 to $116. Yes, a nice almost double up in that transaction, but it started pretty low to begin with for a PSA 10 of one of the hottest young quarterbacks in the NFL today. Joe Burrow's market has fluctuated quite a bit on a week-to-week basis thus far this season. If we look at the overall chart for his optic hollow, for example, this is definitely still down from the Super Bowl that he was in this past February, where it was about $1,000. Now that card is currently about $400 with a population of over 1,000, 914 on the PSA 9. But look at the hyper relevancy effect here of auctions ending Friday and Saturday, $86.69 on Saturday, 8:05 p.m. compared to the buy it now that sold on Sunday for $130. Number 6 this week is T. Higgins. He's had to step up as the Bengals' number 1 receiver with Jamar Chase out with a hip injury. Higgins certainly stepped up against the Steelers with 9 catches on 13 targets for 148 yards. Higgins averaged 4.35 yards per route run, his new season high. Once again, I want to share with you here, guys, the difference between hyper relevancy and not. Here is a orange laser PSA 9, just like that Joe Burrow that ended for $135. But this person decided to end their auction this morning, Monday morning at 9:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the auction only closed for $12.50. Now, I'm not saying that it would get anywhere near the level of what Joe Burrows did, but I guarantee you he probably could have got $30 to $40, maybe $50 if he had ended this auction yesterday evening compared to this morning. Another interesting transaction is his optic hollow PSA 9 selling for $29.95 late night and a buy it now. T. Higgins is another guy who has thousands of different rookie cards, and therefore a lot of the non-serial numbered and base cards from lesser desirable sets and designs are just going to go for very little money. An interesting transaction to look at here is one of my favorites, the Contenders rookie ticket auto. This one is the Red Zone PSA 10 closing for $134.50 in auction last night. I still have got to think that T. Higgins has more room to go up if the Bengals achieve a nice playoff run this year, but it's going to be difficult in a very stacked AFC conference. Plus, the Bengals have arguably the hardest schedule coming down the stretch. All right, guys, now real quick, before we get through 7 through 10 and my other major takeaways, make sure you stay tuned to the end because I've got a big announcement to make about what's in this giant box right here. Stay tuned to the end. Now back to the action. Rookie spotlight alert. T. Higgins wasn't the only receiver who shined on Sunday. Steelers second rounder George Pickens made a couple of spectacular catches en route to an 83-yard, 1-touchdown performance. He also dropped one more at the end of the game that would have been a 40-yard touchdown. And once again, I smashed on DraftKings and DFS this past week, but I ended up falling back down to 30th place in the tournament. I would have shipped it if George Pickens would have caught this touchdown. I had Pickens and T. Higgins left to go, and my opponent had Devante Adams. Devante Adams we'll get to in a second, but George Pickens, so close, George. Put some more sticky on that glove next time, man. Hang on to the ball, man. But still, incredible rookie performance. Now back to the action. It's clear the Pittsburgh fan base is rabid for this guy's cards. Check out this Panini Black, which is a popular new set right now for 2022 rookies. Dual color patch with some interesting stitching here with the sticker, silver, Sharpie, autograph, selling for $85 in a buy it now. This is numbered out of 199. Or here's another example of Panini Instant having some nice liquidity. This one's from his one-handed catch earlier in the season against the Browns. This one's selling for $19.95, has that typed print run on the back out of 613. Number 7 hype player coming out of week 11 is Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. And now this did not resemble their first 8 wins, but it added 1 to the Eagles win column nonetheless. Jalen Hurts' 7-yard touchdown scamper with just a minute 20 remaining in the game enabled the Eagles to sneak away with a 17-16 win over the Colts. It was almost literally all Jalen Hurts for the Eagles offense on Sunday. He led all players in the game with 86 rushing yards on 16 carries, 8 of which resulted in a first down. He also ran for 39 more yards than Miles Sanders did and had 3 more attempts. And check out his raw optic hollow rated rookie, selling for $75 in a buy it now. Or here's a great example of the Jalen Hurts market compared to the Joe Burrow. They're very much neck and neck. Check out this auction that ended at 10:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday night, selling for virtually the same as the Joe Burrow Orange Laser Prism PSA 9 for $129.49. And you guys know I love to do this 2020 Prism PSA 10 QB study over here on our Keep 'em Football Card Prices web app. And Jalen Hurts has a significantly lower population on his PSA 10 than the other guys by a couple thousand. Pretty neck and neck with Jordan Love, who ironically is a backup. Jalen Hurts is signified here by the purple line, Joe Burrow by the green line, Justin Herbert by the blue line, and Tua by the pink line. And you can see here, guys, when a team takes a bye week, this is what happens. The hyper relevancy dies down. They're not quite as relevant when all the other teams are playing, and they're not. And therefore, if you're ending those cards in auction, you're going to lose money. Don't do it. Wait till they have a game, end that card in that auction during the game, or leave it in a buy it now. Now, number 8 is Devante Adams. The Vegas Raiders finally snapped their 3-game slide with a 22-16 overtime victory over the division rival Denver Broncos thanks to a walk-off touchdown by Devante Adams in overtime. This win is just their 3rd of the season. Devante Adams turned 13 targets into a 7-reception, 2-touchdown afternoon, one of his better performances of the year. The 9-year veteran recorded his 6th 100-yard receiving game of this season. Devante Adams has very interesting rookie cards because in 2014, Topps was still in the game, so you could see this Topps Chrome autograph here selling for $75. That is an on-card autograph, pretty popular card, non-serial numbered. Or this rookie ticket auto cracked ice, a grail card for many, serial numbered out of just 22, PSA 9 that sold for $705 in auction last night. Devante Adams' graded card market is a great example of the volatility and the fluctuation in the market on a weekly basis based on performance, but also based on the record of the team that he's playing for, as they're just now securing their third win. So you can see in terms of his most sold product in the last 30 days, it's going to be led by the Topps Chrome, followed by the Topps Platinum, and then the Topps Chrome Refractor, and then the Hot Rookies, which you can see has a 61% change transaction over transaction, but when it ends for $23, $26, $22.50 on average throughout the end of October, beginning of November, and now finally gets up to last night, Sunday, November 20th, 11:57 p.m., almost midnight, ending for $47. That's the hyper relevancy effect on a card that's only got a population of 7, and that's still pretty low considering for a PSA 10. Number 9 is the rookie Chris Olave. In an NFC showdown between the two teams hanging on to postseason hope, the New Orleans Saints defeated the Rams 27-20. The result brings the Saints to 4-7 on the season, while the defending Super Bowl champion Rams dropped to 3-7, still totally hungover. Now without Cooper Kupp and losing Matt Stafford in this game to an injury, Andy Dalton has been hot and cold all season since taking over for Jameis Winston, but this week was one of his better performances, and Chris Olave once again went over 100 yards receiving on the day, which was the third time he's done that so far in his rookie year. Olave led the team with 4 first down catches and brought in 100% of his catchable targets, including a nice long touchdown. And check out the Panini Black 3-color monster patch here, 03 out of 50, selling for $115. What about this leaf metal? But see, it's got the scarcity and the autograph here, selling for $200 in a buy it now. Number 10. Coming in with another breakout rookie performance, Treylon Burks on the Tennessee Titans. The Titans' strong season marched on Thursday night as they beat the Packers 27-17 at Lambeau Field on Thursday Night Football to kick off Week 11. The Titans leaned on their run game, efficient passing game, and strong defense to pick up this victory. This win moves them to 7-3 with a multiple game lead in the AFC South, while the Packers' loss causes them to fall to 4-7 with little hope of catching the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC North, even after the Vikings lose this week to the Cowboys. And this is just his second game back from injury. Ryan Tannehill got back to his usual efficient self, finishing 21 of 26 for 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He registered 2 big-time throws and accumulated an impressive 10.2 yards per attempt. And even though Treylon Burks did not score a touchdown, he had an impressive night on his own right, besting his career high in receiving yards by halftime, on his way to finishing with 7 catches for 111 yards and 3 first downs en route to a 75+ PFF receiving grade. And check out his Panini Black dual horizontally formatted, so this does kind of hurt the value of this card a little bit, but some nice stitching, multiple colors. You got the sticker auto here. It goes for $75 in a buy it now. Or what about another Leaf Signature Series, numbered 1 out of 1, selling for $125. So on a playoff caliber team, if Treylon Burks continue to string these wide receiver 1 performances together, kind of unlocking that AJ Brown potential that he was drafted for, we could definitely see a lot of appreciation in his value, first round draft capital. Other major takeaways: we finally get to see a ceiling game from Josh Palmer. And this is with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams back, but clearly both of those guys were put on pitch counts. You got to see a ceiling game, 2 touchdowns, nice performance here from Josh Palmer. That was really cool to see. You also had a slow return from tight end David Njoku, but you had a very big day from Jacoby Brissett and Amari Cooper in this game against Buffalo. Amari Cooper was another guy that was on my almost first place roster if it would have been for George Pickens, because of the fact that the Buffalo Bills don't have to bring extra pressure much, so they can play a lot of zone coverage, and Amari Cooper is a very slick route runner, and he is the clear alpha wide receiver, but he does not succeed well against tight man coverage. But in a game where Buffalo does not have to blitz much and can still get one of the highest pressure rates in the league, I had a feeling that this was going to be a big Amari Cooper day, but in fact, the winning Millie Maker roster had Jacoby Brissett stacked with Amari Cooper, and you could have put Donovan Peoples-Jones on that as well. The Najee Harris comeback continues, guys. After Jalen Warren's injury, Najee Harris stepped into this game, put up 90 plus yards for the second straight game, had some really nice runs, including a nice touchdown. The Rams backfield is a total disaster. Ezekiel Elliott's return was exactly what we were hoping for, which is why I had Tony Pollard on my winning roster. Damian Harris may have started for the Patriots in this game, but Ramondre Stevenson got all the short yardage work, all the third down work, all the 2-minute drill work, and what was a total defensive battle from start to finish, all climaxing to the final punt, the punt return. Why would that punter not kick it out of bounds to give themselves a chance? But the New England Patriots returned the punt from the Jets with just 20 seconds left to win the game, to score the game's only touchdown. I know Jets fans have got to be just sick after that game. And finally, they were so close to maybe clearing some ghosts out of their closet, but Zach Wilson, just terrible, man, just absolutely anemic. And the Patriots were playing good on defense. He's just so bad under pressure. And then on the other side, you had Mac Jones, who's not a whole lot better, and the Jets defense is really good, especially at getting pressure. And then they have a good secondary to back it up. And so the Jets defense was my defense on that roster. I mean, that was just such an easy play to play either the Patriots defense or the Jets defense. It was so. The Commanders, Taylor Heineke is now here to stay. Because of the last 4 out of 5 games that they have won, Taylor Heineke is here to stay. And I think because of this, it gives a little bit more, a higher floor in the values of Terry McLaurin. And guys like Logan Thomas now become, I think, more relevant again. The snap share for Logan Thomas has been steady the past 3 weeks, around 75%. He's also got rookie cards that depict him as a quarterback because that's how he was originally drafted. So go look up 2014 Logan Thomas rookie cards. Interesting, very cheap ad there. But all things considered, the Commanders are playing good defense, and they are actually hanging in there and winning games, man. The NFC is kind of like wide open right now, besides a few teams. And it's crazy to think that they're last place in their division. But I mean, hey, this is a wild season, man. This is a wild season. But I think it's important to note that Ron Rivera has come out and said that the job is Taylor Heineke's until it isn't, meaning that Carson Wentz healthy doesn't matter. Heineke's job to lose, right? All right, that's what I've got for you guys today. Tune in tomorrow night as we go live to discuss all of this upcoming week's matchups and the best guys and cards and playoff. Look at the new power rankings. We'll talk about it all live with Steve the Hitman in the live stream tomorrow night. See you there. Peace. So you stuck around. You want to find out what's in this big box, man. So this big box is all the good stuff that I had at starstock.com. It's literally $75 to get this shipped, and I've been waiting for this box since March of this year. It's taken, I don't know, 7 months to get this to me now, a little bit over 7 months, but it's finally here. And I think I have 300 and something cards in here, a lot of slabs. I've got sealed boxes in here, sealed blaster box of 2020 product. It is a bunch of stuff that I bought in 2020 and early 2021 on StarStock. It's finally here at my house. I can't wait to open this bad boy up, so stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Big mail day coming later this week. Some of this stuff in there I'm giving away too, so the giveaways are exclusive for the Patreon members. So check it out at patreon.com/footballcards. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.